Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion on this glorious, sunny, snowy morning. My name is Kimberly Quinn. I have an itch on my nose, sorry. And I'm excited, I'm so excited to have this conversation today, which is kind of related to the framework we were talking about, and that's not getting sort of locked into appearance thinking and shifting into a higher quality of thought. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about. So if we start out, just ask yourself, how happy am I in my life? How happy am I with my own thinking? Okay, how pleased am I with my life? Okay, that's really what we're talking about. And the idea with this is to sort of step out of, what we might call appearance thinking and into a more, like a higher quality of authentic thought. That's really what we're talking about. So, we're talking about caring about what other people think is what it comes down to. So if you're at work or school, or one of your kids comes home and says something and so doesn't like me, and even I think seasoned grown-ups are sometimes not being honest if they're saying it doesn't bother them, right? So and so doesn't like me at work, and this means that something must be wrong with me, and we can even be pretty solid with ourselves and know better. We're just like, ooh, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? And doing this whole self-doubt wheel of thinking that steals valuable life minutes from us, right? And so we question it. What could I have said? What could I have done? Blah, 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 blah. Whole dialogue going in. And then, so really what we're talking about, as we've done this framework, is we're like cranking along, living in our own frame, feeling confident, feeling so authentic, we got our power back. And then all of a sudden we just have a little slip up because somebody at work looked at us wrong or said something. We're like, am I okay? Am I okay with you? Do you like me? Did I say something? Did I do something? That's all outside the frame. And we need to coerce ourselves and coax ourselves back into our own frame of authenticity where there is no need for an approval. It's like an external approval free zone. We don't need the external approval. Whose approval do we need? Only your own. Okay, so remembering that people's opinions, their thoughts, opinions, however you want to label that, they're really not different, belong to themselves. They went through their own filters and from the ground up, because everything we think goes through our own filter, which includes how we grew up, whether we grew up in a rural area or an urban area, where we were in the birth order, if we were an only child. It goes through all of that without thinking. So it's like a colander. We're dumping, pasta and water into. We dump it in, and what stays in is what we keep. That's what the whole world is doing when they're talking to us, and that's what we're doing when we talk to them. So it even gives less credibility to whatever it is they're saying. And so we really want to try very hard not to take things personally, because 99% of what anyone says is about them. 99% of what they're saying is about them. And remember, at least, and remember the whole vault thing. We're walking around being driven around by the subconscious. Well, that isn't true for the other person. And that is true for them the same as you. That's what I meant to say. And so it's not different. Okay? So we want to really be talking to ourselves. So whenever we find ourselves questioning, what someone else said or did, and, putting ourselves through that whole self-doubt cycle, which goes nowhere good, to remind ourselves that when we're doing that, we're actually saying and confirming, okay, because we're out here doing it, we're confirming what they think of me means more than what I think of me. No freaking way. What I think of me is all that matters. Done. Okay, and then, so the whole approval thing. Say, oh, well, I like approval. Oh, that's not real. Everybody needs approval. No, they don't. They really don't. And once you're back in your frame, feeling authentic, and you've got your authentic power back, you really don't. Remember, there's a difference, because do we like approval? Yes, I like approval. Of course, I like approval. I like when, my own family says, oh, you look nice in that new outfit, or wow, you just got this award, or wow, look at you did a nice job on that project, or whatever. Of course that feels good. And I think, like I told you, because I really value people's time, and when they take the time to have these nice thoughts and to come say them to me or email them or whatever, I really stop what I'm doing, especially if they're right in front of me, and just and just let the good in, because they took the time with intentionality to come say something nice or to email something nice. And I stop everything to actually take all that goodness in, which also reminds the brain, now this is what good stuff feels like. And then more comes, and you can be accepting of compliments and things, because you're training your neurons that it is okay if I let all this good stuff in. These kind people said nice things to me, and they took the time to come up with all that, so I'm going to stop what I'm doing and appreciate their time and intention. And that's what I do. And then as far as the approval thing, yes, it feels good. It feels really good, and it just feeds the spirit, as long as it's just, you're not seeking it out and it just lands in your lap. That's the thing. I don't go looking for it. I don't need it. Do I like it? Do I enjoy it? Absolutely, but I don't need it or go looking for it, because here's the thing. If somebody needs something, like you need approval, that means when you don't have it, you're from anywhere from uncomfortable to debilitated. And so that's why we want to break free. Think about other things we can need. Like if we get into the whole like addiction thing, like, you know what I mean? And so codependency is an addiction, actually. Okay, so I like it, but I don't need it. And it kind of comes back to the Buddhist concept of detach. And that can sound easier said than done, which is true, but like anything we practice, we get better at it. So if you've ever noticed somebody, like think of somebody in your life who just seems to get tons of approval. Think about that person. The people who get tons of approval don't care if they have approval. It's just this kind of weird universal law thing. When they no longer need it, it comes to them by the truckloads, which can be really annoying for somebody who's locked in to codependent thinking. It's called codependency jail, I like to say, because it feels like that, because when we don't have control of our thoughts or behavior, it can feel like mental jail, right? So it just, this obsessive need to get external approval is very constricting. It's not fun, all right? So detach. So the ones who are constantly getting it don't want it, or not say don't want it. They're open to it, but they're not seeking it out. They're not needing it. That's what I meant to say. They don't need it. They're not seeking it out. So that turns out to be like a faucet they can't shut off, again, which can annoy people around them if they're in this place of codependent thinking, because that's just how it is. So in order to free ourselves from codependency jail and people pleasing, the rescuing thing, right? It's important to be a good person, of course. However, if you're running around rescuing people, it depends on the intention. And you're getting all kinds of self-esteem from that. That's mega codependent. So it's just good to look at that. So to free ourselves from these thoughts that coerce us into people pleasing and rescuing and seeking external approval, we've got to commit to it, right? First is the awareness, then is the commitment. Think of it like being a good parent. Commitment and follow through. Commitment and follow through. Got to stick to it. And then if you slide back a little bit, wrap around yourself with compassion and say, okay, so I slid into codependency. I spent a half a day in codependency jail. All right. Well, good thing I have the other half of the day. I can get out of jail free card, and I can go do what I want without seeking approval from anyone. Why? Because I'm feeling whole and complete in my own frame. So just pick yourself up by the bootstraps, as they say, or we say here in Vermont anyway. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps and just start your day over. You can always start your day over. That's a beautiful thing. And just have the rest of your day be not locked in approval seeking, and then pat yourself on the back that you pulled yourself up and out of codependency jail. Yeah, free yourself from the thinking of others, because all it is their thoughts. Okay, even people get locked into their reputations. Here's the thing. This is wonderfully freeing. You don't really have one, because your reputation is in 20 or 30 or 50 other people. You can't go climb into each one of those heads and pull out a piece of your reputation. That's obviously not even possible. It's ridiculous. So just let go of all of it. Let go of all of it. Jump back into your frame. Be your authentic self. Grab your power back and stop caring about what other people think, because it doesn't matter. They're just their opinions. They have nothing to do with you. The only approval you need is your own. Awesome. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from Northern Vermont. Have a mindful, approval-free, as far as other people, day.